You got this.
To the window, to the wall, till the sweat drop down my balls, till all these bitches crawl. Skeet, skeet.
That was not the intro that I was looking for. I don't know what the fuck happened. I had another one, but
Skeet,
apparently,
That was fantastic. I'll do
But
that one every time I'm here. That'd be great.
yeah,
Skeet, skeet.
it didn't want to save. Apparently, well, folks, welcome to this episode of Dive Bar News. I have with me the wonderful Purple Ryan, and from TikTok,
Hey.
Ryan. Hi.
Hi, Davey.
Hi. We keep listen. This is what was this? The second time I said let's do this, or third time, and finally we're doing this.
It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, listen. I like doing this kind of stuff with a lot of people. It gets people into kind of people who want to do this. You know, it kind of gives them a little bit of ease into it. And it's me. I'm dumb. So if people look and go, "Hey, you can do this,"
So am I.
I can do this too.
That's why I'm here.
But I also have a lot of fun doing this. But one thing I do want to get to really quickly, and I forgot to add this to what we were talking about last week or the other day when I did the first episode of Dive Bar News. I put on a video from TikTok, and showed people when you were a kid. No, that's not the video. When you were a kid and you went into this blue tin of cookies, were there cookies in that tin? Do you ever have a blue tin of cookies? You've never had a blue
Like
tin
the white cookies
I
in the little mini coffee filters.
yes, those. I didn't know those existed until a couple years ago. I thought that tin. Hold on one second.
Was for a sewing kit.
So,
And
I
we're
wonder
back. It's sewing kit. We lost audio with you. I can't hear you at all. Nope. Nope. Now you're muted. You're muted on the screen. No, like the little mute
about now?
icon. There we go.
I
can
don't
hear
know
you now.
what I did, but I messed up something. I grabbed something. I can't hear you now.
You can't hear me now?
Hold on.
Oh no. How about now?
Oh. Share headphones.
This is great.
I can't hear you now. I fucked something up. I messed up something. See what I mean? I'm dumb. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
hello? No,
Hello.
it's still good.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
It says your mic is not on.
But it is on.
Go into the settings. Say something.
Check. Check
There you
1,
go.
2.
There you go. See, I just kicked something, and all of a sudden, everything just went to shit.
We'll get this figured out eventually, people.
It's all right. Listen, it is what it is. We're not here to be perfect. So,
Yep.
this I saw this, and I thought everybody had gone through this. Oh, now you went away.
I'm still here.
Okay. So I saw this video and I was shocked that not everybody has gone through this. Oh, the sound isn't available? Wow.
They took it away.
They took away the sound.
They took it away.
So if you read, it says, "Are you going to sew something?" And she has this blue tin of cookies, and he's just baffled by it. He's baffled by it because I know the same thing, because I didn't know there were actually cookies. I thought this was like, see, there's a sewing kit in here.
Yeah.
So last week I was baffled by it, and Amanda.
That's what you're supposed to do after you've eaten the cookies.
Well, folks, she bought the cookies. She bought the fucking cookies.
Are we serious right now? You've never had these cookies before?
I'm gonna play. No, I've never had these cookies before the other day, because she bought 2 boxes, and I finally got to try one, and they're fucking delicious. But I'm gonna try.
They're amazing. They go down like little butter cookies,
bro. So I had never known that these were actually like. I guess my mother ate the cookies and everything, and then she's just like, "No, there's sewing shit in there.
You don't need no more sugar."
So Amanda, right after that, Amanda's baffledness, she went on Amazon and ordered 2 of these things, because one, she's pregnant, so she loves them, and she needed just an excuse to buy more than one. But if you've never seen them, these are the cookies. These are the actual cookies. Oh my God, there's comments coming in, and I forgot to.
Oops.
I haven't got to the comments. Ryan is making weird commercials these days. Rise is making Netgrow.
Excuse me?
She said Verizon is making weird commercials these days.
Oh, yes.
So, yes, I had never before the other day had these cookies. I did not know it was a real thing. I thought it was a facade. Don't ask questions. I am who I am. And
I don't have any cookies.
come get some cookies.
That was so wet.
It's dry as fuck, but they're delicious.
That's why you were like before the.
So yeah, we got the cookies. So I just wanted to give a little update. Can you hear me now? Yes. Good. You can hear me now. Good. Yeah. Verizon commercials are fucking weird these days. But so I did not know, nor did I care how you stood politically. And so when you asked to come on with me and Rich, and had the views that you had, I was very intrigued. Very intrigued, because I feel like you're not completely, you're kind of like me. Like I'm center right. I
want to hear both sides, but I want logical. I want the actual what it's supposed to be. Like I know, like I understand the system, so the system should be the system. Like you say what you want to do, you say what you want to do. Stick to your fucking words.
Yeah,
I got snake charmed, and I don't like it.
No, I don't.
Well, I didn't vote for that side, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like the majority got snake charmed, and a lot are waking up.
Which is nice to see. Like, especially like
Rappaport.
Oh my dude,
you sent me that.
Dude, and he kept on. I gotta vote for Big Dick Donald Trump. Like, when these people are waking up and finally realizing, and it's upsetting at one point, but it's nice in the other point. It's upsetting because, especially during COVID, you had people like literally tearing families apart because, the people on the TV were telling you that they were going to kill you, kill grandma,
Oh yeah.
without telling you that, oh, we'll tell you what to do. We're the news. We tell you how to think. And it's like, bro, like when I heard that, I was absolutely not. And the Michael Rappaport, both people on both sides thing, that's what turned Rich also. When Rich heard that, because Rich was watching it, because Rich, my buddy Rich, for those who don't know, we do the Odd Label podcast on Thursdays, also known as Drunken Senpai. Rich hates Donald Trump. He can't stand him.
Yeah.
And so, but he was like, let me just listen to him. And that was the first thing. Charlottesville was the first thing he listened to. And then he started listening to the news say what he said. And he goes, that's not what he said. And they just kept running and running. And Rich is like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, there's a problem. There's a problem with what's going on. And like you said, we need to normalize having conversations and not getting pissed off with people because they have an opinion.
Exactly.
But it feels like a lot of people can't sit down and have normal conversations without. But okay, let me.
It's been criminalized from their brains or in their brains.
It's
to think outside of the box of their peers.
Yeah, it's the people who are doing it on TV are the extremes. Let's just get that out there. Like if you're on TV, you're on the extreme side of it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Your Fox News, your CNN, your MSNBC. MSNBC is just wild. They are just a wild bunch. They write fan fiction at MSNBC. I'm pretty sure they're just a fanfic. Quote,
I think they laugh at more news or stories than anything in America.
Yeah,
chuckles here and there. You're like, whoa.
But I think a lot of people, if you just sat down and had a conversation with normal, just regular people, you'd have more of these conversations. But they don't want to show you that on the news. They want to show you people yelling and screaming. If it leads, it bleeds, So, I just like, and I'd love to have people of different like backgrounds and different ideologies and have a conversation with them, because we need that. We need to talk. And the more we realize we're not different, we're not far off from each other. We're really not.
My parents bitch about property taxes just like everyone else's parents.
Yeah. Which is a fucking crime because, you sit there and you get a mortgage.
You bought the fucking house. Now you have to still keep buying or paying for the land that it sits on. Like, what? But you could do anything on that land you want.
For 30 years, you have to pay a bank back twice what you put the house for. And then poor you at 80 years old, you didn't pay the taxes on the house because you didn't know you had to pay the taxes on the house till after you paid it off. And they just take your house. So everything you worked for is gone.
And for all of us dumb fucks who are too broke to own a home, who doesn't understand what we're talking about, those have also gone up in the last couple of years a lot.
Bro, when I moved out here,
my mom's like, our property taxes were $5,600 this year, and I don't know what to do. I'm like, what?
$5,600?
Dude, I remember when they were $1,800, and I was like, here, let me grab that for you, Ma.
Bro, when I left Jersey, the property tax on my house, my house, I stole it from this lady basically because she just wanted out. We paid $190,000 for the house. Property tax on that house, I believe, were $6,000 or $7,000. My father-in-law at that time bought a house for $450,000. His property taxes were $12,000 a year. $12,000 a year. It's $1,000, and I had more land than he did.
Jeez. My parents are in a subdivision, surrounded by cornfields off like a main road. It's kind of like a weird little like development that they just did randomly in a cornfield, and that's where I grew up. But it's just like just north of Flint, Michigan. And my dad's conspiracy suspicion is like all around they're putting in the windmills and the solar panel farms. Like, you drive 2 minutes the other way, and they've taken out like a good 30, 40 acres, and it's all solar panels just going along the rolling hills and shit. You're like, whoa, that was fast. I was
Yeah.
just past here last year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there was a house here, I think, or a barn or something.
They are just taking away the land that is the beautiful land that we have and just throwing everything they can
Industrializing
to
everything.
industrial. Yeah. And when I first got to Kansas, it
We're
was 2
so
years ago.
close to Running Man. I'm so excited. Do you remember the movie Running Man?
With Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah.
Dude, it's gonna turn into these NFL athletes and gladiators becoming like justice servers.
Dude, we are almost 100. We're at 85% loading for Demolition Man. We're
That's the one.
85% loaded for Demolition Man.
That's the one I'm thinking of, right? With all like
With-
the gladiators with the flamethrowers and stuff.
No, that's Running Man. That's
That
with
is
Arnold
Running Man,
Schwarzenegger.
okay.
Demolition Man is with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone,
Yep.
where you can't curse, the 3 seashells, no crime. Dennis Leary's on the underground, where they can eat meat.
Very true.
Up top, there's no meat. They're eating different things. Yeah, Tori, you can't boot me from my own box. Sorry. Tori loves it. When I'm in a live, Tori's favorite thing to do is come in, say hi, and then I just go bye-bye for a minute. She just loves eating me out of a box.
She does that to a lot of people.
Listen, it's all in fun. I just know I see her, I go, hi, Tori. I'll be back in a minute. But yeah, we're dangerously close to Demolition Man, and it's a scary thing. Like, you can't curse. I mean, calling somebody the wrong thing nowadays can get you in jail.
Yeah.
Like,
I did see this amazing video of this. I think it was an attorney testing out the local laws in, I think, Clearwater Beach, Florida. He was walking across a public beach with his fishing pole and a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, but he had a rifle strapped to his chest, loaded, which I guess in that part of the beach or something like that is completely legal. But the cops immediately swarmed him, grabbed him by the wrist, and like held his wrist out. Had another like sergeant come up to him, and then they handcuffed him, put him in the car. All of a sudden, they got a couple phone calls, boom. Like, they were ready for this. They knew the cops were going to call the police on him. So they already had like hotline call queued up. They kept him in the car for like 15 minutes, so they let him out. But they completely, like, I don't want to say dismantled his firearm, but they undid his sling. They took the mag out. They just mistreated. Threw his fishing pole in the sand. Like, so I'm sure they put his rifle in the sand. He was just like, fuck you. Like, he was just going off. They couldn't do anything about it. They told him, let him go. And it's like, that's exactly like, let him be. Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. Keep your people away from him. Walk away from him. Just keep an eye on him. But like, by law, he can do it. Can't be mad at it. Can't throw a fucking scene. You can't change that.
It's just it's a weird catch-22 nowadays, because you just never know who is there just to carry, and who's there to actually menace and do things like what happened the other day at Joel Osteen's church. Somebody just walked in there, and I don't know the entire story, because the news keeps just telling us that that the cops in Texas use the proper pronouns. So that's all we know. We don't know anything else. Supposedly they had a Free Palestine on their rifle. A 5-year-old who she brought in with her was fatally wounded. Well, she was wounded, but they think it's going to probably be fatal. And it turns out, once again, they knew who she was. They had an idea who she was, and they just didn't do anything about it, But I just our problem is, in this country, our politicians and our lawmakers don't follow the laws. They just want to make new laws instead of already imposing the laws we have on our books. They just want to keep making up stuff. They just want to keep making up stuff. So, I mean, I and they just keep spending our fucking money. Did you freeze?
No, I'm just reading this. I'm sorry. I sit very still when I'm reading. I'm listening.
I mean, they just keep spending our money to the tune of trillions and billions of dollars, and nobody bats an eye, and everybody's just like, okay, cool, let's just do this. Like, here we go. Let's see. Here we go, folks. Why did that do that?
We're still rolling with the punches here.
Here we go. U.S. Senate passes a $95 billion aid package to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan without border security provisions, while most Americans are still asleep. This is what you call representation? This is what you call representation, folks. And don't get me wrong. Once again, I said a center right. I don't like any of these people. I don't like any of these people. I don't care. I disagree with every single one of them. You know, to come out with this bill and call it the security bill and have $22 million just devoted to the $22 billion just to devoted to the border, and 95.
You know what they're thinking is for the term security? I see Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. That's a NATO push. They're pushing forces. They're pushing bodies. They're pushing units. They're building bases. They're making things ready for them. Full scale. That's a full scale military spread. If it's just going to those three regions, well, absolutely. There's war at tension on the borders of Israel. There's wars at tension on the borders of Ukraine. Wars at the fucking island borders of Taiwan with China. That's just NATO going, okay, spread it out. Mayonnaise this bread.
I thought Ukraine wasn't in NATO.
They're about to be.
But I understand that, but they're not. That's the thing. That's what pisses me off the most.
That's what Russia's fighting them back against. It's like, whoa. No.
But let me kind of give the backstory a little bit of what I understand it. The reason why NATO was created was to get rid of the USSR. And the agreement was that NATO will never be on the border of Russia.
NATO technically was the allies in World War II against the Nazis and the fascist uprising in Eastern Europe and preventing its spread. But from there, Russia was assisting. Russia is actually credited to being the ones that killed and captured Hitler.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Russian special forces are the ones that killed and captured Hitler. And they have his charred, burned remains somewhere in Moscow, reportedly. I didn't believe this when I first heard this either, but I learned this when I was in the military.
But you see, that's what you do when you capture somebody like that. You don't sit there and throw them in the middle of the fucking Atlantic Ocean and just go, no, he's gone.
Well,
no,
there's been conspiracy that the DNA doesn't match and the teeth and all that, whatever. But anyway, so I believe honestly that
we don't listen. No. You don't have to speed past that. What do you mean?
There's been reports that private, there's been private entities that have tested those or been allotted to and went to release the results, but have been withheld and whatnot. They're saying that it might not be Hitler's DNA.
In Russia?
Yeah, they're saying he did the conspiracy from like Tim Kennedy, former MMA and Green Beret Ranger. He went into Argentina and shit trying to find Hitler remains and actually found like communities and colonies in South America that speak Russian. White people, like what? What the fuck? In the middle of the jungle.
Argentina, right? You said?
Yeah.
Argentina's fucking wild. I've heard that they have that the Nazis from Germany are all in Argentina.
Yeah.
That's where they all went.
Yep.
So it was just this big giant ass country club that just went, hey, let's just go down here and we're good.
That's what But to end the war and to create NATO, Hitler was gone. East Germany, West Germany, Berlin Wall was removed or over time with all that. That was the progression of that. essentially after World War II, West Germany was a part of the Soviet, and then the Cold War, and then it was the demise of the Soviet Union. And then the Berlin Wall went down, and then Russia became Russia, Germany became whole, Poland became whole, Belarus became whole, Ukraine became kinda its own entity, with like Crimea, I think it is. Like they talked about in the Tucker Carlson interview. Crimea, I believe, is what they spoke about. It's where Russian wine comes from. It's where a lot of the original pagan hieroglyphs and shit are in the heart of the city and in ancient templates and shit like that. And most of the people speak Russian there anyway. They have Russian beliefs, laws.
That's what I heard. I heard that a lot of that Crimea speaks Russian and they want to be a part of Russia.
Yeah.
And I've heard that from multiple different sources, not just Vladimir Putin himself. By the way, in 2024, on my bingo card, besides becoming a dad, didn't have agreeing with Vladimir Putin on
anything.
Yeah, didn't have that on my fucking bingo card. Like,
for the record, I am not Team Putin. I am Team Human. But
yeah,
he did bring to light, like, yo, y'all jumped in onto something we've been debating since fucking pagan times, pre-Roman Catholic, pre-Christianity.
And here's the thing: is like he's been trying to put and this is why I said agreeing with Vladimir Putin. He's been trying to put the kibosh on this since 2021 or 22. Like he was just like, just give me Crimea. They want to be a part of Russia anyway, and we'll just leave it alone.
Yeah.
And then Boris Johnson comes out of fucking nowhere, and it's been reported sent by the Biden administration.
Boris Johnson being the UK prime minister at the time.
Yeah. To go in. What was he the prime minister at the time, or was he gone by then? I think he had just been ousted at that time.
No, he said he was still at that time in.
And they send Boris Johnson in and tell yeah, I know, right? It's just habit. And Boris Johnson goes in and tells Vladimir Putin, no, absolutely not. Don't do it. And it's just like, why? Why not? Why not just, you want this? And it just proves that these people just want war because it's money.
I want to know where the backing of most of the United States comes from for Ukraine, that there was such a significant event. What was the 9/11 that allowed us to flood in the money that we're flooding, like Afghanistan? When I was in Afghanistan, dude, it was like Mad Max. How much money went to Afghanistan? We need to look that up. I'm curious. How much money did we send to Afghanistan? Because I'm telling you, I learned to survive in the wilderness just by that deployment. Getting water from the ground. Like, dude, we were primitive. I built showers there, homes, beds. Like, we lived on pallets and shit. There were still Humvees operable, and those were supposed to be out since Iraq.
$2.3 trillion.
Yeah, what did that all go to? Because it didn't go to that country. We leveled everything.
I'll tell you, it was the same exact thing that they just passed the bill for.
It never touched the country. I'm telling y'all. None of that money touched the $2 trillion. I was in Afghanistan. There's no signs of $2 trillion. I'm here in America. I see, like, okay, there's a lot of money here. Over there, no. In the big cities like fucking, Bagram, Kabul, sure, there's money there, but not trillions.
Where is it? I'm trying to look at.
And military equipment, ain't no fucking way. I mean, yeah, they have terrible spending habits. Terrible. They fail an audit every year at the Department of Defense. I've been a part of those financial audits. Audits are a fucking nightmare for a command. Yeah.
I think I can't remember what article I saw it, but they said 30%.
The whole thing is refreshed too, by the way. We're probably on a list.
Come get me. We showed it on Odd Label. 30% of what we sent to Ukraine only made it to the front lines. That was it.
But what is even the front lines? Like, I don't even understand. Like right now, they're in the mud season, so they're not even able to fight yet on ground, or they're gonna bury their tanks. Troops are gonna get stuck. Like in what we do see on the internet clips, it's like 6 people. It's not a unit. It's not anything like that. It's just wild. Like, oh, these guys are camping out in this cabin over here. Let's go attack that cabin. It's just, it doesn't even make sense. Like we're watching like prisoners play aggressive paintball in these clips and videos that I'm seeing online. It's not like Afghanistan, dude.
Dude, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. Like this is such a small country that we've given almost $200 billion to a tiny country. And once again, this is our tax dollars, and I don't care. And everybody goes, well, it's not that. It's this much in cash, this much in soldiers and like I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Is there any kind of like scale or report out there on the internet that shows like how long it takes the U.S. to regenerate that kind of money? Because Trump made a huge point about it recently about when it comes to NATO and paybacks. He's like, sure, when I get back in office and a country wants a loan, like Biden, like Crooked Joe keeps doing left and right, sure, what we're going to do is we're going to put interest on that loan. And we're going to get that loan back when they're better off again. But we're not going to finance war. We're going to finance humanitarian things. Help them out when they need. They want to build a big building that'll bring a bunch of jobs. We'll help you. But you're going to pay us back. And like where did that, like, how is that like logical thought gone from today's government?
Well, because it's no longer the government of the people. It's the government of
the machine.
Yeah, and it's so
Pink
funny,
Floyd, dude.
Bro, it is so funny to watch people go from "fuck you, I won't do what they told me" to "fuck you, do what they tell you," and it's like, bro,
Rage Against the Machine.
What the fuck happened? Like, yeah, your name is Rage Against the Machine, and you're bending over for the machine, dude. Like, what the fuck what happened to you guys? I'm trying to find that chart of how much was going to what. I thought I had it saved. But here's also what I find funny. You remember when Trump asked for $5 billion and the Democrats fucking lost their mind and were like, we can't afford $5 billion. We just passed a bill. Well, we were trying to pass a bill for $118 billion. $118 billion. Trump asked for $118 billion, and $20 billion was going to the border, and then $95 billion was going to those 3 countries. And guess what? They went, okay, no problem. We'll scrap the border issue and we'll just give these countries the money. And I don't understand how people's heads did not fucking spin. I don't understand it.
But honestly, what would that border portion have done? Are they going to add to the wall under this regiment? No.
Bro, nothing. From one of the mothers whose child died of fentanyl, she said she went down to the border and was talking, and she was talking in front of Congress. She said that they're making the people who come across the border, making them sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
that's what they were doing, making them sandwiches.
Don't die because you're hungry.
Like and like I said, what upsets me is that people just don't care. Like people are just like, oh well, give them Ukraine. What do we need to fund Ukraine for? Can you do you know why? I mean, you were in service. You would know better than me.
Like I said, they're financially supporting a NATO spread now. This is going to be a military spread. This is the final push. Like they made such a hoopla about this much money going over there. I'm telling you right now, all these immigrants they keep reporting are from, African descent, China, Eastern, Europe, whatever. And a lot of them are Muslim belief and Chinese descent.
Well, it was funny. I saw a video yesterday. Some lady took in a Haitian family, right? So this little old white lady took in a Haitian family that was sleeping in the airport
Oh yeah, in Massachusetts.
in Massachusetts, and she goes, "It's nice. She just cooks for me," and I'm like, I went,
Oh no,
"Did
dude.
they
What
just bring
about?
back slavery?
Yeah.
Did
Did
they
you?
just bring?"
Yeah. No, for real. Did you see the one in Massachusetts where the family filled out the application on the government site to take, to accept the family in? Less than 24 hours. This family was on the doorstep. It's like DoorDash and a fucking family for your home. Less than 24 hours. The government saw their request and granted it. Have you ever heard of a government thing doing that in 24 hours? It took me 3 weeks to get a license plate, dude, and I bought, like, the uppity one with the state pass and the fucking, like 3 to 4 weeks to get that license plate in the mail.
Dude, I mean, I've seen it takes 3 to 4 months to get your license in some states because
Yes, that's true.
they outsource it.
I
And then
said weeks, I meant months.
then they outsource it and send it to you, and then they get the information wrong, then they send it back, then you gotta pay for another one, then you gotta pay for another one, then people getting mad at you because I'm supposed to get this, and I'm like, "Bro, like, I'm sorry, but they outsource this shit. There's nothing I can do."
So, in my military mind,
Yeah.
if if I were over them, thinking like the enemy, and I wanted to create the perfect attack, I'd do exactly what's doing. Put a huge, battalion, if not multiple, of my forces into the U.S., West and East Coast, and in the middle. Isolate them slowly around the military bases, so then that way, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been on or near a military base. If a military base is attacked here in the States, we're so cocky with our own self-security. It takes about 45 minutes for quick react forces to be on the lines with pew-pews.
Where, on a military base?
On a military base. Military bases are protected by Border Patrol, essentially, by third-party security staffs or officers.
Why?
You tell me. And it's been like that my entire military career. We don't have military members standing watch. We'll have MPs at the gate, but they're not going around the borders and shit. Not a lot of places have cameras in line or on the fences or anything like that. There's not that. Especially the bases I've been on. Fuck no.
Grand Theft Auto has been lying to me the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
Every time I
dude.
go to a military base, it's fucking 4 stars, and right away you.
I mean, yeah, if you get on there and you get reported and known, like, you're immediately, terror to the government. But yeah, if I had about 50 to 60 people, I can take over a base, no problem. Have the entire place fucking turned over with just a couple of pew-pews in my hand or in our hands. 50 to 60 easily.
That's
Right through the front gate. Right through the front gate, bro. At my base in California, you get through the 6 people at the front gate, you're right there at the mall on base. And then the movie theaters across the street.
That's fucking scary.
Yeah. That's every base in America.
And we think that, we just think that we have the best military and all this and all this. 45 fucking minutes?
When those kids are here at Homeport, dude, they're just kids that have to work a day job. When they're off work, they're home. Playing video games, TikToking, doing whatever. There is no fucking staying in barracks and fucking people screaming at you all. That's only boot camp and A school. Once you're in the unit, you're just skating by like it's a college, like it's a sorority, like it's a frat house. Just do your job. Don't get in trouble.
That's fucking scary.
Mhm.
That's oh my god, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
it was
swear.
balls 45 minutes?
Where we trained our troops up in Northern California, like, anybody can drive on the base. It's technically a national park, but we have, like, highly classified military tactic training scenarios that happen on the public streets. The public that enter the base, they're just notified, like, "Hey, if you see vehicles with the flashing lights, don't stop to try to assist them. Most likely, they're part of a training exercise." And you'll probably hear a lot of gunshots. Don't be worried, though. None of the Rangers are live. It's all false ammunition. It's all blank rounds. It's all crimped ends. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Like this whole, yeah. And then when I was doing one of my last trainings of field exercise, which is about a month long on the field, we would attack a base that they made on the spot. They test and practice, their quick drop force maneuvers, like entering into an empty space, spreading out, making the base, and then building the infrastructure in like a little mini city and shit. And then, comms, electricity, plumbing, all that shit. My job was to take another battalion, take a handful of those kids that have never been involved with anything, and then teach them the backside of shit. Like, okay, we're going to attack them on this side because last night we attacked them from the north end. I want to see how their pits, pit 6 and pit 7 react. Pit 6 has a crew serve weapon, like a 240 or a 50 cal. They're going to have to lay down suppressing lines of fire. They have only a wide range to traverse, and really you're not supposed to be traversing a thing. What a machine gun's supposed to do is supposed to divert you away from the scary fire over to this open area where they've either set up like C-wire or they could just pick you off one by one easily with small arms so they don't have to waste all the expensive shit. So that's where you get like the die motherfucker. Let's burst of fire. And it's supposed to push people over to one way. So that was my job, was to test them. Like, okay, are you diverting the enemy, us, to where you want us to go into a weak point, wide open area, so then you could just pick us off easily? Or are you just guys all clusterfuck cowboys and Indians like, woo! And then if they're doing that, then I'm like, no, you're not smart enough to go over there. Like, you're gonna end up back in a box. Like, not funny. Like, so yeah, that was my job for 5 years. And then when they went, we're moving away from Taliban, interactions with the actors, because we'd bring civilian actors out and stuff. They'd either act hurt or act like civilians, like, help, we need this, or shit like that. They're like, no, we're actually moving to Polish interactions. And I was like, what? And he's like, that's all I can really say about that. And I went home and actually told my daughter's mother about that. And her and I just had that conversation the other day. I'm like, do you remember when I told you about the Poland thing? She's like, yeah. I'm like, it's happening. It's happening right now, literally 10 years later. It's a 10-year plan. Like, they told me about it. And I'm shitting my pants. Like, yeah, that's literally, we're pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's like, hey, we're not on your border. We're not on your border. And Russia's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
10 years in the fucking making. They knew.
That was Obama.
Well, I mean,
that was Obama.
It still is. It still fucking is.
But that's when it all started, was the whole Russian, all that shit. Russia was the enemy. Russia. I mean, aside from the Cold War and shit, Russia's always been the enemy for the U.S.
It's
they're the biggest landmass in the world.
It's really fucked up that you say that, is because, remember, was it when Romney was running and Obama goes, oh, 1980s called. They want their Russian propaganda back. But this motherfucker knew.
Yeah.
He knew. He said that, and he knew exactly what he was doing. This is why I say
they're not afraid to lie to us.
No, that's the problem. That is the biggest problem right now.
The oath is gone. All of it's gone. They don't care. This is the Wild West.
They don't fear us. That's the problem.
That's when I made that post on TikTok. They're like, do y'all remember learning about the Constitution or the Declaration or anything like that? I remember skimming by it. I remember have to remember the dates of when it took place and a timeline. We connect the fucking timelines to the events, to the Spanish Armada and shit. But like, did we dive into the articles? Fuck no. Should we have? Fuck yes.
They don't want you to know.
Because in there it says at any time we can surpass the Congress and the Senate and completely take over and go, hold the phone. What are we doing here? This is our country, not y'all's. Take the suit off. Go sit down in the corner. Like, we could do that. That's our power. We just have to have all the state. What is it? 32 states?
Yeah.
32 states have to combine. That's it. And I think we're already there. Because nobody has the knowledge. Nobody has the balls.
They done a square dance. Well, that's and I mean, that's by design. It's by design, dude. What do you think? What do you think they don't want to teach kids script anymore? What's the Declaration of Independence written in?
Oh, you mean cursive?
Yeah.
It's true.
It's
Can't read it.
So they can change it to whatever they want, and these kids will not be able to read the original.
Yeah, once we're
scripture.
gone, they won't fucking know.
No, they can
And
change
that was the COVID sweep, hoping that the older people would go 30 and above.
Yeah.
Strokes happening, fucking.
Now they got these kids, these young kids. I think they said all vascular injuries in every age bracket has tripled. Every age bracket.
And then my mom's working for the school foods right now, and they're not even allowed to like season anything. We're allowed to add a ranch packet to the cheesy broccoli florets. I'm like, what the fuck? Or whatever the fuck she told me. I'm like, a ranch packet? And she's like, yeah, it comes with it. She's like, it's all fresh food. I'm like, yeah, Mom, but it's bland. I remember that food. It's like you're eating fucking cardboard. It ain't real chicken.
You know why, right?
Vitamin depleted bullshit. It's full of chemicals.
Get ready for the plants.
Oh yeah, it's all plant food, dude.
They want you all plant-based so they can stuff you with whatever chemicals they want to stuff you with. And that's it. And it's so funny because
slows down your brain development, your cognitive thinking, your outside the box all that shit. You're just gonna be like it's time to eat McDonald's. Like, I'm sorry if I offend anybody with that, but like, a perfect world, a dummy just works and eats my food, and I make the money, and I just sit here and smile. That's my perfect world.
Why do you think that they just let you eat McDonald's why do you think they didn't let you grow your own food?
Yeah, that was wild too, dude. I dealt with Gretchen Whitmer, man.
Yeah,
straight fresh Botox forehead, telling people you can't get your hair cut, and if you're getting caught giving a haircut, you'll get charged with a misdemeanor and fined. If you're caught running an underground hair cutting operation,
bro, this is literally
all public beaches are closed. Yet her husband gets busted putting a yacht out in Lake Michigan.
This is what they want from us.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brawndo stuff.
But Brawndo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water. Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brawndo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look. The plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brawndo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Oh, well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah. So
okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brawndo's got what plants crave.
Yeah.
What the hell is this from?
You've never seen Idiocracy?
No.
Holy balls of fuck. If I've got to mail it to you, I have it on DVD. If I have to fucking mail it to you, you have to watch it. Dude, it will blow your fucking mind. You want to talk about blowing your mind on that Tucker Carlson? You have your fucking peanut butter sandwich with your magic dust on it. Watch this movie. Your mind will be fucking blown. Literally. So Terry Crews is the president of the United States. I caught this the last time me and Rich watched it because me and Rich love this movie. Terry Crews has the 3 mics that Joe Biden has. You know, when Joe Biden's talking, he's got the 2 mics in front of him, then he's got the mic in his hand. That's what Terry Crews has in this movie. This movie was made in 2006. Yeah. Dude, it is insane. And that's what they want. They want people just like that to just go, no, that's what they crave. Like, no, that they said to eat the McDonald's. So Impossible Burger? Yeah, no. It's delicious. It tastes just like meat, but it's not meat, but it's so good.
I've yet to even try it, dude. When I was working at Burger King as a kid and they came out with the Veggie Whopper and I'd have to microwave that thing inside the wax paper, it would stink up the whole fucking place. And I'd be like, ugh, I would hate people that ordered that thing.
It's got soy in it. And you know what soy has, right?
Estrogen. Oil. Oh.
Soy is packed with estrogen, and that's what every plant-based product has in it. So, I mean, no more. They don't want you fucking thinking outside. They want you to do what they tell you, and that's it.
I
Not
got
that listen,
fucking
and not that women just do whatever you tell because they got estrogen. I'm just saying they want to feminize men and make them to the point where they're just like that's what all this fear mongering is. Fear mongering is just playing on your emotions. That's it. Oh, you want kids? Oh, we got to take away your guns. Why? The kids. Your kid. You want your kid dead? Well, no, I don't want my kid dead. Then do you want gun control? But I want to keep my guns. Then you want dead children. That's not what I said. I said I want to be able to keep my guns. Not that I want dead kids. No, you want dead kids. That's what you want.
I
You
want
want
I want bad people to stop being let go.
yeah.
And I want bad people to be noted or, kind of caught onto it at the school level. Schools can't do shit with troubled kids, really. I mean, they expel them, they go to another school. How
Well-
about instead of expelling him, he goes into a program to understand what's going on? Maybe they discover that there's issues at the house. Then maybe we can do something that we can fix that without, just throwing the book at people. Maybe there is a simple solution to whatever the fuck's going on, or more going on instead of just like, I don't know.
What do you mean? Like when the parents go to the school?
Like
and
I
go,
grew up in a very poor community. I grew up in Flint, Michigan. Flint's still one of the poorest cities in America. I mean, my mom being back at the schools, I've been picking her brain on a lot of shit too lately. And even going back there, it's very vanilla.
Mhm.
The schools feel very spiritless anymore. It's just really spooky and eerie. It doesn't feel like my old high school, just feels like a shell of it. But then like even like school like kids, man, like I grew up with around, heavy gangs, black community, also had a large, Spanish American Latino community and Latino gangs and shit. And I had, white trailer park nation, the Kid Rock kids and all them Eminem kids and the, fucking Dayton family developed 5 minutes from where I grew up. So like every Friday night there would be a new house to burn down that was abandoned for 8 years. It's all boarded up. Everybody'd swarm around the block and have a big old block party and burn down a house for the shits and giggles. Oh yeah, dude. Flint be wild. Then it would be drag racing, and then somebody would get pissed off or an argument break out, and somebody fire shots in the air, everybody scatter, and then there would be cops that'd be parked out at the ends, and all of a sudden lights would turn on. It'd be just complete chaos. This is when I was like 16. Just running the streets doing crazy shit. But
and they say the kids in the East Coast were fucking wild. You Midwestern kids are just
dude, we were fucking the I-75 line's wild. From Flint to Detroit to Saginaw. But I mean, I watched a lot of kids. I went to elementary school, either just give up on school or their parents didn't give a fuck because their parents were in and out of trouble or financial struggle. And then they just didn't go to school and they just still, went on about their lives uneducated or, not even based on those communities, just, the poverty in general. It was just rough. And then, a couple Flint schools closed and my school gained a shit ton of students to the point where we were over full. Like we had students sitting in the hallways and shit, trying to keep up learning with everyone else. And we had to rotate chairs and shit for a year or two. I remember that. That was wild. That was my freshman and sophomore year. And then they finally kind of leveled everything out and expanded the schools and shit. But I mean, basic educations, basic like
what up, Booby?
Like correctional tactics and shit. It's like if we're not even gonna put up with your shit. Just like, no, you fucked up. Bye, gone. Like there wasn't really strikes. It was like only certain kids got expelled, but then like the certain shit ones stayed around, and it was just chaos at my schools. It just didn't make sense. But I just feel like there's more structure down below at a young age. Like my child, fuck man. Her classmates are just heathens, and I'm in a classier area. I mean, there's a huge company here for Future 500. Every day on Wall Street you hear about this company. So
Barbara says they write them off instead of helping or nurturing.
Exactly. They just write them off. And I mean, it's got to be targeted on the next presidency cabinet. Like, get fucking Granholm out of there. Jennifer Granholm was one of the worst governors for Michigan ever, dude. There were so many people getting let go and fired and jailed under her, her watch and her order and shit. She upset so many people, raised the taxes, gas prices, automobile industries nearly left us to Mexico under her watch. Like, it was fucking terrible under her. The water crisis in Flint, and then the next dickhead we had, he went to jail. If I remember correctly. But now we got Reg.
Blagojevich, Rob Blagojevich.
No, it wasn't him. It was something. It was just a basic white dude name. I can't remember his name now. He was only in for a short term. But it's just it's got to go back to state level, and the states need to get competitive with their education, man. They need to push these fucking kids to be successful, be educators, be inventors, to be fucking like. What I'm seeing now in the schools is like they just want to dummy kids down and follow one voice.
They don't even give them homework anymore. Like Spencer comes home and like just jumps on the computer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I said to man, I go, does he do homework? And she goes, no, they don't give him homework. I go, what? Like they don't give them homework to do.
My daughter has had the same 6 books in her backpack for the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, what the fuck? We're supposed to read 2 books a night, but like, she's supposed to reread the same 8-page books over and over and over. I'm like, dude, she just killed a 382-page Dragon Girls book at a 3rd grade level, and she's in the 1st grade. And I'm like, take this to your teacher. I want to know what your teacher tells you. And she was like, good job, Piper. I'm like, did she increase your reading level? Is she going to give you tougher books? She goes, no. I'm like, why? Because you're reading more than the other kids in your class? Like, have her give you fucking bigger books.
You can't do better than anybody else. Everybody has to be on the same level. We're not going towards a good place. And that's, and the government wants to control everything. And they want to, like, who is the biggest proponent of homeschooling? The teachers union. The teachers union was giant. And there's documented proof that a lot of the reason why the kids didn't go back to the schools because the teachers union did not want it to happen. The teachers were fine waking up, turning their laptop on, and just reading from a script, and just that was it. And then turn it off.
Teachers don't even want to teach, dude.
No. And I feel bad for the teachers that do want to teach and do want to have the kids
There's a few.
There is. But now it feels like a majority of them just want to come in, collect a paycheck, and just here. They'll write their curriculum out for them. This is what you do. Stay on this timeline and don't veer off. And that's it. And like I said, no more script. The kids aren't reading cursive anymore. They're not writing cursive. They're trying to dumb down the kids so they don't outsmart the government. It's sad to say that if nothing happens and if we continue on this trajectory, that the kids will think that the government owns them in the next generation or two.
If we continue on the path, we're going to be in like we were saying earlier, RoboCop, Demolition Man, fucking Mad Max situation. I don't. The electric car push is a joke because when we lose electricity, because we get fucking invaded, literally, because not one fucking base aside from maybe Fort Knox has a proper military security around it. I mean, look at our White House. The White House houses the president and the most important people in our country, and yet we could have people. What we had a protest a week or two ago. I'm not gonna point out which one or what, but just in regards to a protest, and there was a group of people kicking the fucking fence to the White House. Now, if you as a person were to think, "Hey, I'm gonna kick the fucking fence to the White House," you would think you would immediately get arrested. You'd be scared to death to do it. These guys broke the fucking fence down, and then no one got arrested.
I have something simpler for you, though. You think the White House is the most secure place in the entire world where nobody could do anything in there without anybody seeing what they're doing? Somebody had cocaine in the White House and nobody knew where it came from.
They know. They just don't have the balls to say it because they don't want to.
Whose cocaine is this? I have no fucking idea. Sir, do you know? Nope, no idea. Do you? Nope. There's no video of anybody having cocaine in the entire house. Hey, what's Hunter doing over there? I don't. Dad, I gotta
We're
go.
just seeing basic I gotta
go.
We're just seeing basic fucking playground behavior. Like the cool kid club, everybody wants to be a part of the cool clips or cool kids and all that. The ones that they think are gonna be on top at the end of the day and shit like that. And they're willing to like, lie, close their eyes, look the other way. It's just we see it in everyday life, you know.
My
And
mom
it's
yelled at my
just
guidance
unfortunately it's
counselor
politicians.
for telling me not to set higher goals for my career, and it was okay to settle. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It is fucking amazing. And once again, this is your tax dollars. This is what you spend your money. Like no, okay, not even what you. This is the money they take from you. You don't get a choice. You have no choice on what schools you send your kids to. You have
Fuck,
no
most
choice.
colleges, they don't even know what the majority of what their professors are telling their students.
No.
They just get the tuition. They hire the person. He's got a good resume. He believes in our shit and the little questionnaire we gave him. Let him go until we get complaints.
I mean, you can hire a university president who plagiarized their entire work. Meanwhile, the university that this president works for in their bylaws says if you're caught plagiarizing, you're thrown out of college. But
was this Penn or was this Illinois-based school?
Wasn't it Harvard? One of the lady where they were making anti-Semitic rants. They were making anti-Semitic comments, and because she was a woman of color, a black woman, they went after her. They found out that she plagiarized and everything like that. And Harvard still stood by her and was like, "Oh, we're not going to fire her." And then all of a sudden, because people were pissed off, once again,
that was the one that wouldn't like say that it was a hate or no. What was it?
If they were saying that if somebody said something anti-Semitic to somebody and making threats to them, that it was okay, depending on the context of the threat. And it was like,
it's a great.
It was like, okay, that. But then if I call somebody by the wrong pronoun, you want to throw me in jail because this woman has a boner as she's walking through a strip club. She has a boner, but I will have to call her ma'am. I'm sorry. Excuse me?
What?
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. I'm good.
Actually, Spencer's enrolled in something called College Pathways. He reads at 7th grade level and he's doing Algebra 2 math. His counselor is trying to get him into advanced classes. And I owe it all to that card game. And I owe all that to a card game. Magic the Gathering. He learned how to play when he was 4.
God damn.
Well, I mean, those kind of games get your mind thinking. That's a good thing for kids is when, you can use your imagination and kind of think
I'm not
outside the box.
against it.
But I mean, that's I told
just
Spencer
never
that-
had a group of friends that were goofy enough or creative enough or like, comfortable enough to sit there and create a fucking game on the spot like D&D is.
No, listen. Amanda's going to teach me how to play D&D. From what
Best of luck.
seen, but listen, what I've seen, it's like improv.
Yeah,
it looks pretty fucking cool.
Dude,
so
just
I'm
watch
like,
Stranger Things.
oh yeah, I do.
It's literally all Stranger Things is just a fucking
It's
D&D
just a
brought to
D&D
life.
But it's incredible, man. Like I never, in my wildest dreams, thought we'd be in this time. Like
No, because we were supposed to be America. We're supposed to be the strongest country in the world. We're supposed to be, strongest
And-
military, the best test scores, the world's best economy, the most destinated place to visit in the world. And we're not any of that anymore.
No, we're a place where you can cross the border and just live off America's dick, basically.
We're
You
a
come
joke.
across the border, and everybody who's worked their entire life for things, you get nothing. It's like having a fucking whatchamacallit, like a phone, a cell phone. When you come into the new provider, You can get free phones galore. Hey, I've been with your company for about 15 years. Can I get a free phone? No, you have to pay full price. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've been a loyal customer for you guys for 15 years. You can't even give me like $100. No, you don't get that. Oh, you are just coming over to AT&T? Come on, pick any phone you want for free. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, why pay taxes? I love the videos of these people just going, I get $2,000 a year back in taxes. Mind you, this is your money that you paid the government. You gave them an interest-free loan for an entire year. And then you go to do them and they go, nope, you didn't pay enough. And you're watching these young kids just sit there and go, what the fuck? Spencer's favorite history. Oh, okay. Let's me and Spencer have to have some history talk then. Okay, back to work. All right, babe. Don't crash, please. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy to watch these people finally waking up and
hopefully.
Me and Biz have been saying this. May will be 2 years we've been doing this podcast, Business Party Podcast. And we've been saying a lot of this shit for 2 fucking years. And for people to push back on some of the things that we've said and some of the stuff that we've put out there, and a lot of it is coming to fruition now. It's just like, we fucking told you, but you guys looked at us like we were dumb conspiracy theorists and all this shit, and now all of a sudden it's coming in, and a lot of people forget. Once again, the people who wanted everybody to, the people who are against the vaccination when Trump was putting it out were the same people after Trump left that said, get it, or we will not return you back to your regularly scheduled program.
Yep.
And it was just like, hold on a sec. Hold on.
They had him tricked.
Yeah. And they still have him tricked. You still have people like out there, like, oh man, Bill Maher has got to be willfully ignorant. Like, there's sometimes he says something that's poignant.
I got about 10 more minutes to spare.
Right, no problem. No problem. Let me just go to this Bill Maher clip really quickly because he I don't know. I like what he says, and sometimes he just aggravates the fuck out of me, because this is Jillian Michaels. She was she's a fitness coach.
Mm-hmm.
Whatchamacallit? She was on The Biggest Loser?
Yep.
She was one of the first coaches on there.
She's got that workout program and all that.
Listen to what they were talking. Listen to this.
But isn't it amazing to you? Like, it was in the paper today about this country came out of the pandemic way better. We won the pandemic economically. I mean, America.
Did? God, I don't feel that way. Explain it to me. I feel like inflation's insane.
Inflation is not insane.
Bill.
Inflation is not insane. And you know why he says that, right? Because when they talk about inflation, they only use certain things when they talk about inflation. So when they tell you inflation has gone up, when they tell you inflation's gone down, they're not using milk. I don't believe they use milk. They don't use eggs. They use certain key points when they talk about inflation. It's not your everyday household items that they consider as inflation. Meanwhile, eggs are up 22%, I believe it is. Chicken's up
$5 for a carton, $5 for a gallon, and I think like $3 to $4 for a loaf of bread. $15 for bread, eggs, and milk.
And those used to be
crazy.
Those used to be the cheapest fucking things out there.
It used to be like $3-4 for those 3 things right there.
Yeah. Go buy a car.
There's numbers. I understand things, but it has
tripled here.
Look, I get that people
buy some fucking eggs. Explain
okay,
to me.
I'm
not an economist.
There's feelings, and then there's
I love
the numbers.
Okay, what are the numbers?
The numbers have come down a lot in the last 6 months.
it doesn't help when this fucking asshole got into office. And once again, here's another thing that me and Biz have been saying since the beginning. The more money you fucking print, the more inflation is going to skyrocket. And we were totally against every single bill that gave out free money.
Yeah.
Gave out free money because this was going to happen. And we've been saying this is going to happen.
Okay.
Of course, it was inevitable when we gave out $6 trillion so that everybody could hide under the bed from the forever flu. That was never going to end well.
It was taken by the richest people ever and didn't
And
get where it needed to
a
go.
lot of it was stolen. We agree on that too. It was like, was there some response needed? Of course, you don't want the hospitals overrun, but it was just a massive overreaction. And that did cause some of the inflation.
Like, how do you have that? Like, he's way out. Like, he's out of touch. Like when you have Nancy Pelosi sitting there going, "I have $25 ice cream." These people are out of fucking touch.
They have so much money, dude. Money isn't a thing to them anymore.
But even when they do these bills, dude, we are an endless ATM to the government. We are an endless ATM. They have a black card. And they will just keep putting money and money. I have a challenge to everybody who's watching. Do yourself a favor. If you want to really kind of, and this is what kind of like got me to read the bills, first of all. Second, go back and check out the COVID bill. Go skim through that. When the first COVID bill came through, in the text, it said every hospital that had a COVID death would receive $40,000 per death.
Then they started ruling everything as a COVID death.
Do you wonder why everybody was saying switch it to COVID? Do you wonder why a gunshot was labeled as COVID? Hospitals are privately owned.
Dude, my hospital's going through such a fucking expansion right now. It looks like a city is being built. I'll send you a picture of it tomorrow.
But they don't have a lot of nurses and doctors to fill that because they first of all, they ostracize everybody who was a champion during COVID, working through it and didn't before they had the shot. And then after, they were called a piece of garbage for not getting the shot and fired. The military is the same thing, getting rid of people who didn't want to take the shot. And now they're panicking because enlistment is way below what they want.
I'm just waiting for the call and I'm gonna laugh.
Dude, I'm
gonna laugh at them, tell them go fuck themselves. I'm for real. I would 4 years ago. No, not even. At COVID, I was still saying, man, I wish I could go back to what I was at, or like at the time, if I could timeline jump, but like to go back in. Since I got out at the perfect time, the November of 2019.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I got out November of 2019. Whoa. Then I became a full-time DoorDasher. And I watched the world go crazy from my car. I was just like, I was even being an asshole driving around with like a fucking respirator on, like a painting respirator and shit. Going in, I'm like, I got a fucking mask. All right, this thing's better than your cloth thing. I ain't getting your sickness. Give me the food.
My favorite story, and I will tell this story till the end of time. It was the beginning of it. This lady walked in with a mask and gloves on, and I've never do the entire thing. I think I've worn a mask and glove a total hours a week.
Dude, I was getting the worst fucking like sores on my ears and shit from that fucking mask.
Yeah, that's you're not supposed to keep it on all day.
No,
every day.
That's just to breathe the same shit in.
So this lady comes in, right? And she looks at me, she goes, "You're not wearing a mask or gloves." And I go, "No." She goes, "Why?" I go, "It doesn't make any sense." She goes, "What do you mean it doesn't make any sense?" I go, "Ma'am, you got in your car, right? You left your gloves and mask on getting into the car, correct?" "Yes." drove here with the mask and glove on? No, just the gloves. Okay. I go, then you put the mask back on with the gloves that you've been wearing the entire time. You open that door, You came here to stand in front of me. I'm going to give you a receipt. You're going to go back out that door, walk into your car, and pull your mask off with the gloves that you've just done all that with. Tell me what sense that makes. And you're trying to avoid getting sick. And she goes, I walked in here and I was having a good day. I'm leaving here and I'm going to have a terrible day. And I go, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just common sense. It really is. It's just common sense. And people talk about, well, doctors wear. The doctor wears, by the way, he sterilizes his whole body. He has somebody put his stuff on. He takes the and then has somebody take the stuff off him. Yeah. And he's only wearing it during surgery. He's not wearing it after surgery as he goes home, kisses his wife and kids, and then as they play fucking Baccarat or whatever.
Surgeons go in like they're going in the ocean to scuba dive, dude. Everybody's putting it on, bolting it on for them.
Yeah. So everybody freaked out, and 2 weeks.
Keep an eye on this fungal shit.
Listen, keep an eye on everything, man. I just say keep an eye on everything. Just watch what they tell you. Watch what they do. That's another thing. Watch what they do during the pandemic. Once again, Nancy Pelosi got her hair done. Gretchen Whitmer went and got her hair done. Did you get
Newsom? Bounce a dime off that forehead?
Yeah. I bet you got a lot of guys have bounced a lot of things off that forehead.
I'm not going there.
But what Newsom was going out, all these people who were telling everybody stay home while they still got a paycheck, while they still went out and did whatever they wanted to do. And they were telling you have to stay home.
You think they sacrificed Weinstein, like different things here and there to distract us from the bill changes?
I mean, you don't think so? You don't think Weinstein was
every time there's a sporting event now, dude, my eyes are on Twitter or X. Like I'm watching. Like, what are politics doing right now? What are politics? Fuck these sports things, because that whole bombing. I knew, like, something in me as soon as the kickoff started. I'm like, I'm curious what's going on in X. And I went to and clicked on the politics tab, and I'm like, holy fuck, they're bombing Rafa.
Yeah.
Hey, CC, open them gates. I even put it in my story. I'm like, apparently the call to CC didn't fucking, didn't
do nothing. I just that's that whole thing also.
Fish in a barrel, dude.
Him getting
Fish
off
in a fucking barrel.
Him getting off and then going, no, I'm good. I can stand trial. And they're like, sir, you don't have to stand trial. You're not good. No, I'm fine. Shut up, Joe. Shut the fuck up. You just got away with it, you stupid motherfucker.
Frustrates me because I'm going through a similar dementia situation with a grandfather, hence the stripper pole.
Listen, my grandfather
fucking 80 years old. You don't need this in your house.
Listen, my grandfather went through dementia, and I probably had the most fun with him at that time because every day because he lived with me at the time, every day I came home and asked him what he did today. And in his mind, he was somewhere else doing something else with someone else. And he wasn't just in a bed in a diaper. And it was just like I would come home and I'd ask him what he did and he'd just tell me the whole thing. And my grandmother ruined it by telling him, because she's a miserable fuck. And she would just go, no, you were in bed all day. You didn't do anything.
Don't put it out with your boots on, Ted.
He called the shit poop. But I mean, it's sad, because they just forget everything, and it's sad, but they make
as long as people don't give up and just fucking stick to what is best for them. Like everybody's got their own beliefs and shit. Like just if you do the best person will win.
And do me a favor, anybody's listening, if the person who has dementia wants to boot heroin, fucking let them do it. Let them do whatever they want, because they're at the end of their road. Don't give me that look. This man is at the end of his road, and if it takes the pain away, because they're in excruciating. I saw my
Are we
grandfather.
talking about Biden? Did he say something about Big H?
No, I'm talking about like you say you're going through because your grandfather's having her. Yeah.
Oh, he's not doing it. He's just bringing hoochies home from the bar that do it. It would probably be better if he did, but he just sits and sleeps and goes to the bar and brings home a girl. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't understand it. My parents will let me get involved with the demons work over there, but I'm fascinated.
You should just go over there and just bring him some of your fucking sprinkled dust.
Oh God.
And just go, hey Gramps, let's just have an afternoon and just fucking
well, the first thing I'm gonna want to do is get all the hoochie coos out the house before anything happens first, and get it to smell less like diapers or whatever the fuck's going on.
First of all of them? How many does your grandfather have in the house?
I keep being told there's 2. Dude, I don't know.
Leave the man alone. Leave the man alone. Let him get whatever he's got. Let the man get AIDS if he has to. He's 80-something years old, dying of dementia. Let the man have fun. Fuck
I mean,
that.
the only concern of the family is he started a business and he sold the business and he's sitting on now that and he's losing his fucking mind. He's got these 2 just that's the worry. The car was stolen 2 weeks ago at a Target under their watch. My dad thinks it was collateral. Holy shit. I wish I could make this out too, but I'm just over here like, what the fuck?
Yeah. This is fucking amazing.
Keep your head up, people. Keep your head up. It'll be okay. It'll get better.
Listen, if I was your mom or your uncles or aunts or whatever, I'd get power of attorney fucking quickly.
That's what I try to tell them, and we don't know how to. I'm like,
go to a fucking dude. Go to a lawyer because all that money. But listen, hey, and it happened with my grandfather too. Like I was supposed to get money, when he passed away.
Shit, dude.
And I was just and I was just like I was told, well, you don't get it. I said, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like my grandmother's like, I'm taking you out of my will because I wrote her off because she was being a fucking dickhead. And she's like, well, you're not gonna get. I said, I don't care. I don't give a shit. It's money. I could care less about money. I don't. I was liking spending time with you, but you ruined it. You fucking ruined it. Okay.
Ain't it weird? And that's how it was when my other grandparents passed. Like everybody got all weird and divided. I'm like,
But that's the thing. Money fucks with. And then being on TikTok, man, you know it. Money fucks with people. Like I saw that video with that Karina girl or whatever it is because of the tussle app. Did you hear about that fiasco?
I've avoided everything with that, dude. I'm outed from all of that,
dude. It is.
I'm on my lone island over here, and I'm like, I'm good. I keep being told that my name keeps getting dropped in lives and shit. I'm just like, whatever. I'm not doing anything on my side. So,
dude, it is. The story I heard is just wild. But I mean,
I don't even know who that is.
I looked. So apparently something she got. They gave everybody 1,000 tokens, and then I guess they took it away. I don't know. I'm on it just to check it out, see what it's about. I don't give a shit about anything too much. And apparently they gave everybody 1,000 tokens to spend, and then I guess they took it away at some point. And she got her 1,000 tokens taken away, and she got mad because it got taken away. And then she started like, this and this, and don't go there. They're just taking your money, and it's just like. And she's like, and you can't do anything. I wear less clothes on TikTok than I wore on there. And I'm like, bro, like it's a new app they're developing that they're building from the bottom up. Like, fucking relax, man. Like you didn't give the 1,000, you didn't pay for the coins. They gave you the coins, and then they took them away. Like
too new for me, dude. Too new for me.
Listen,
and how's that legal team? Because TikTok's not small. I'm good. I'm having my name involved until it's been running a couple years.
Listen, like I said, I like to see the new stuff that's coming out and stuff like that, and kind of keep my ear to the grindstone or however they say it. But like these people are just wilding out for nothing. For fucking dude, it's a fucking app. Like I can't believe how many people I have to kind of tell that to sometimes. Like or a lot like, dude, it's an app. Relax. Like what are you getting all worked up? And I get it. A lot of people make money. You make a nice chunk of change from that, But I say to a lot of people, like, you entertain. I don't
try.
mind when people go in there and entertain and like do the Jack Sparrow and sing and dress up. Even fucking Cookie Monster. He's a funny fucking dude. He's got the Cookie Monster with the chain on, and he's sitting there entertaining people.
You see Kermit with the jeans and the boots?
No, I did.
I was tripping, dude, and that's the first thing he came on the screen with a button-up cheetah shirt, blue jeans and boots, and I'm like, your nose is so fuzzy. It was bad.
When you're sitting there and like, thank you. Oh yeah, hey, let's do this. Let's go. Yeah, and then you see them get like fucking hundreds of thousands of coins, and you're like, why? Like how?
Most of it is just fucking clicks and hey, I'm gonna send you 500 on PayPal. You sit in my live all day and just send gifts.
It's a wild place, man.
I've been approached multiple times for that little click cliche and by multiple different groups, not just one, multiple. Because I've been on the app for 2 years.
Yeah,
I've damn near met all the big ones, followed by quite a few, but like. It's weird, dude. It's fucking weird and get toxic. That's why I said I'm just done doing boxes because over my time of being on the app, like the clicks that click up and do boxes, like they just get stagnant and then out of nowhere, wild drama. And then it just like blows up like more people are involved than that really are. And it's like you're shouting to like 5 people. Like just shut up and do your thing. Like we don't care to hear how pissed off you are. Keep that on the backside.
well, like
nobody wants to see anybody throw a fucking fit.
So I gave this advice to somebody, and of course they didn't take it, but whatever. You have to do things for yourself.
Yeah, original.
You can't. No, what I mean is like you have to do it because you love doing it. Like I don't care. Like we have 6 people in here. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm doing it because I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying this conversation with you. I enjoy talking about the stupid shit that goes on. I don't care.
It's 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. I could be on there running around, blowing smoke, making 100 or $200. Like, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I can do it. I'm gonna get bitched at that I missed a time slot, but
there's people who just like they have to be on all day.
You'll see it. You'll notice it. Some people have that TikTok itch is what me and Adam Taylor were calling it. But it's like a fucking like all of a sudden you just see a little happen. And like I was just battling somebody from an international sides of TikTok and they do weekly rankings. And I'm like, bro, have you been sleeping much? Like you seem a little. He's like, bro, I've gotten like I shouldn't do an accent or anything like that, but he's like, dude,
you're on fucking YouTube, my friend.
He's like, I've gotten like, it's like I've got like 2 hours last night. I eat a couple hours the night before, but I've just been showering, ordering food, and just being on here. We've been killing it, crushing it, bro. And I'm like, have you gone outside? Like, when's the last time you have been out? Like, because he loves spray paint. I'm like, when's the last time you've been out spray paint? He's like, oh, it's been about 3-4 weeks. I'm like, so you just stop doing what you love doing because all of a sudden it's going good for like I don't care if it gets hot for me. I'm not pulling myself away from my daughter, from me, because I know I've been there. I've just completely depleted myself on that app and been like, nope, I'm gonna take a week off. Like fuck this. What I'm doing now is just a little simple schedule: 10 in the morning, 10 at night. For the most part, I generally give a 2-hour buffer left or right. But no, I just stick to that, and it's getting better than it ever has before, and it pisses some people off that I don't do certain things in benefit of others. But it's like I'm at the point where it's like, yo, little caterpillar, like you've been around long enough, go do your own fucking thing. Fly, butterfly. Like quit chewing on my plant. My plant's getting tired of you chewing on it all the fucking time.
It's wild. Like like you were talking about like they have families, and then it gets into this entire drama of shit, and it's just like, oh, you're in this guy's box. What were you doing? Like, bro, like
The purple banner was made in an attempt just to be petty towards everyone else's banner. You didn't have to pass no fucking test. I don't care who you are. If you want to put a purple circle around your picture just to feel like you're a part of something, fucking feel free. I'm not going to make you do nothing. I'm not going to guilt you. I'm not going to require you. Some people have it still, and I'm like, holy fuck, I haven't seen you in a minute. And I'm like, let's go. Fuck it. It's just like, just be you.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I make videos when I feel like making videos. And I haven't really been jumping into as many boxes lately. One, because I'm, me and Amanda are together and
Yeah.
Bringing a child. But like,
they impeached him.
Yeah, Mayorkas?
CBS is doing a live right now.
I mean, it means nothing. The next person they bring in is just going to do what the president tells them to do anyway.
I just can't wait to see the next person that just gets yelled at about the border. They won't let me answer any of your questions.
All right, get the fuck out of here. You said 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago. Where can everybody find you? Not that everybody doesn't know where, but
social media platforms. Ryan is purple.
And listen, once again, yeah, we got to do this. Should do this every once in a while because fucking it's fun. I just like hopping on here.
Dude, I even told you, like, I'm down for that one.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't even have to be politics driven, just be like just life.
Yeah. I mean, you have some fucking interesting stories to tell, apparently, because
oh yeah.
Grandpa's pole dancing. All right, go do what you got to do. I'm gonna stay out here for a few more minutes and try to put some stuff out there. All right, buddy. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to come out here, dude. Honestly, thank you.
Anytime. We'll talk later.
Later.
Bye. Ryan is a fucking cool dude. I like that dude a lot. I do really. He's a funny motherfucker. He is a funny motherfucker. So, with that being said, I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit about what JoJo is doing, and let's see. We'll get a little bit into where is it? Oh, let's watch this little wonderful video of the disingenuous JoJo. He's having dinner with a black family. Why? Because apparently this is what Joe does. Joe goes to houses of black families and just has chicken fingers with them, fried chicken fingers.
Oh man, you got chicken fingers. You got all this. I want the root of making sure I had a hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
Because that dad doesn't look uncomfortable at all. That is the most comfortable. Why don't you tell him about your sports? You don't know what sports your kids play?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball.
I'm sorry. That was probably the worst cut in the world. He was talking to the one kid, and the other kid just like, I'm playing basketball.
Playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? You should tell the president about the school.
Favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. You get to like travel.
Look at that fucking. He does not know where he is. He has no idea. This man is completely lost. There's words that are going through this man's head and phrases that he said a couple years ago in congressional hearings and things that he's just, I really said that? This man has no idea where he is.
So we've been to like NC State, Wake Tech, and
You're kidding me.
Yeah, we went to this small dry cleaning business.
You're kidding me. You're learning about business in school? You? You're learning. Oh, cool.
And it's cool. It's a great experience.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed, he says. I'm impressed that you go to school with, they learn business.
A new program at the school?
Yes, sir, it is. It just started just a couple of years ago.
You know how much this guy loves you. You just feel it, can't you?
Yes, sir.
Your dad jumped in front of a bull for you. By the way, we dads are hard to raise. Once you're a teenager, we're hard to raise. So you gotta be patient with us, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
A little patient.
That was uncomfortable. That was uncomfortable to watch. I can't. It's so phony and so put on. He's so disingenuous. He doesn't know what he's doing, where he is. The man literally, they told him that they not going to charge him for these records, and he went on to tell everybody, no, I'm fine. I'm good. We're all good. He went and lied and said that what he was charged with, they never said that there were false allegations. Here's CNN fact-checking Joe Biden. It'd be a good idea if I put it on the screen, wouldn't it? It would be really good, Dave. Good job.
That President Biden said is basically that he stored the documents in filing cabinets that could be locked. Let's listen.
All the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked.
Daniel?
Just not true, John. This report from the special counsel includes photos. Those photos include shots of a box just sitting in President Biden's Delaware garage. The special counsel described it as a badly damaged box sitting amid household detritus. So there was some material that was in cabinets, locked or lockable, as the president said, but all of it certainly not. And that open, unsealed, damaged box included, according to the special counsel, highly sensitive, top secret material about the war in Afghanistan.
Okay, another claim that President Biden made, none of the documents were highly classified. Let's listen.
None of it.
Mind you, this was the speech he gave right after Tucker Carlson did his interview with Vladimir Putin. This was the retort to Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin.
Was high classified. Didn't have any of that red stuff on it. You know what I mean? Around the corners? None of that.
Daniel?
I like it. Daniel. Like he's going, fuck, he's lying again. Fuck, Daniel. You want to help me out here?
That claim that he didn't have any material that was quote unquote high classified is also not true, John. The special counsel's report says that the president possessed multiple highly classified documents that were indeed marked as being highly classified documents, including some marked as top secret /SCI, sensitive compartmented information. That is a very high level of classification. For example, special counsel Hur discussed 2 top secret documents about Afghanistan found in that open, unsealed, damaged box in the garage, one of which Hur said contains highly sensitive info about military programs, and another that contains info about sensitive intelligence and sources and methods. Now, it's not clear, John, if any of those Biden documents had those colored borders we saw on classified docs that former President Trump had, which I think is what President Biden was referring to when he talked about red around the corners. But still, whatever coloring these documents had, the special counsel says they were clearly marked as highly classified. And then I should add, Hur also said that investigators' analysis of Biden's own handwritten notes from his time as vice president showed that these notebooks also contained highly classified info, though those were not marked. And Hur said a sampling of 37 excerpts found that, quote, 8 are top secret with sensitive compartmented information, 7 of which include information concerning human intelligence sources, plus 6 others that were top secret.
And then the third claim that he made, Daniel, there was that he did not share classified information with a ghostwriter on a book he was working on. Listen to that.
I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter.
With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
But the special counsel said in the
No,
report
he
that he
did not say that.
Okay.
He did not say that.
So he's entitled
I guess he was just tired of saying Daniel. Daniel?
to say he didn't do it. He can defend himself. But he also said the special counsel didn't say that he did share that classified info with the ghostwriter. Except, John, the special counsel did say that explicitly. Her wrote, quote, Mr. Biden shared information, including some classified information from those notebooks with his ghostwriter. So there it is in black and white. Now, her did elaborate that Biden shared classified info with the ghostwriter by reading nearly verbatim from the notebooks on at least 3 occasions, including notes from meetings in the Situation Room. He did find that Biden, quote, at times tried to avoid sharing classified info, like by skipping over certain material as he was reading them to the ghostwriter. And her did write that the evidence does not show that Biden knew the info was classified. Nonetheless, even though the special counsel did clearly give him some material to defend himself with, this is not a factual defense. So he could cite the factual stuff, her said, didn't know it was intentional, etc. But declaring the special counsel just did not say what he said, John, is not a factual defense.
Important to note, Daniel Dale, always great.
So he completely lied. It was a total lie. The man does not know what he's talking about. The man is incompetent. I mean, it's just, the man didn't even know when he was vice president. It's in the documents. And for MSNBC and CNN and these people to just go off and say, hey, I don't understand, he's not a doctor. These are the same people who are telling you that Trump needed a cognitive test. And now are defending Joe Biden, and he doesn't need a cognitive test. No, let's listen to MSNBC defend this. They look like a happy bunch, don't they? They look like a fucking... These are the people you want at a party. These are the people, let me tell you, because I guarantee you they're banging rails, and then they're coming to you and trying to tell you, let's get hookers. All of them. Even this happy woman right here. She's in a happy, wonderful marriage, I guess. This guy over here is just happy to be here. This guy was just like, just give me the dickhead look. This guy's just a dickhead. This guy over here, Mr. I came from a small background. Your dad is Joe Scarborough. Okay. Oh, your dad is that Joe Scarborough? Your dad's Chuck Scarborough. Whatever. Joe, Chuck. Your dad's a Scarborough. He was in New York news for decades. Don't tell me you came up from this middle-class background. He's told people that.
It's John Heilemann. We've seen examples over and over again of Donald Trump just losing it on stage here. And you had the whole political world come to a stop. First of all, because for some reason you had the guy, the special counsel asking, hey, what year did your son die? And supposedly he didn't remember what year his son died. And this was the most standing thing. I said this yesterday, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just older people. We've lived a busy and active life, but nobody's closer to me.
You're too busy and active to remember when your son died. He keeps telling everybody his son died in Iraq. His son died of brain cancer or a brain tumor. He keeps telling everybody his son died overseas. He didn't. This man does not know where he is, and we are letting him continue as president. I mean, what's better, Kamala Harris? I don't know. Maybe.
Nobody's been closer to me in my lifetime than my mom. If somebody asked me in the middle of a deposition, what year did your mom die? I go, I don't know, 2017, 2018, 2019. I don't know. I can tell you everything about it. I can tell you my final word, but again, that, and same thing with Mika and her dad. So the fact, first of all, that he was asking that question. Secondly, that somehow that's the most damning.
What's the context of the question? There has to be a context of the question. There's context to it, but they're not going to tell you.
And the Trump people are now saying the White House is like an old folks' home. They need to look inside their own glass house, because inside that glass house, if the Biden administration or the Biden White House and the political team know what they're doing, that's a glass house, the Trump glass house, that's going to come crashing to the ground, because there's clip after clip after clip of this guy not even remembering, the most basic things.
That's my favorite thing the news does. That is my favorite thing the news does, is they have no actual evidence of things. Well, that's the things he does with the things. Trump said they're fine people on both sides. That's what he said, but keep going with that clip. Keep going. And he said, I condemn the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists. But, you're not going to keep that going because you have a narrative to spin. You have a narrative to spin. Let's see. Let me see. What there was something 5 minutes. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I want to wrap this up on a high note. Let's wrap this up on a high note with Joe talking about. Listen, this is Joe's cognitive thinking. Okay, this man is a genius. He told us that Hunter Biden is the smartest man he knows. You're late, Adam, but hey, thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
Anyway, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. I was just thinking, anyway, I just, look, I mean, Putin's kleptocracy, yeah. It was in January, after being elected, the late January, early February. He said, it's not, we lead, not just, well, I won't go into it. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers. For two reasons. One, it's an impact that decades are making, because inaction was there was inaction with the Department of from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you, that you like to be able to, anyway, the idea that and Joan Shingang,
Shebang.
Shanga,
she bangs. Joan, she bangs.
But there's, there to be, beginning this effort, and I want you to know that I want to thank you as well for, with the nature, not America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him, look, a solid meeting with the Los Angeles and
Okay.
what am I doing here?
I can't. Exactly. What am I doing here? I'm gonna end this gracefully, because I can't. This man is our president. folks. This man is our president. And God forbid something happens and he has to make a decision that's going to impact all of our lives. He's already done it before. He's said the wrong thing. The other day, he said, Sisi, the president of Mexico. He was talking about the Egyptian president. He's going to get us in a... By the way, if you think Ukraine, if we're not going to war with Ukraine, if you think that's not happening, I got a bridge to sell you. Because we're putting our troops that are there already, we're putting more troops there with this $95 billion. So, folks, remember, this is your money at work here. You are funding all of this. Accidentally, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. I can't believe I can't find. That's why I'm dumb. I forgot to change the brand. See what I mean? Guys, I'm dumb. But I appreciate y'all for sticking around. This was longer than I wanted to go, but you know, it's fun. I have fun doing this. But I appreciate y'all sticking around, and I'll see you again. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. Sorry. Business Party Podcast, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Odd Label Podcast on Thursday at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. And this Sunday we come back with Weekend Hangover at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day.
The turning point in America.
You just like a guy or you don't. I've known him for a long time.